All right, so we're moving on to step 11, which is publish and subscribe. And basically this is going to be filtering the data that gets displayed to the client. So as you remember, we did, where is it at? We up here did task find. So we had task find and we returned all of them. We did have a filter on it already where we're showing the checked ones. Now we're going to continue to filter on data that's sent to the client. The key difference is here, this is filtering at the client. So all the data has already come back. And I'm just applying a filter for this in the client side, right? But the client already has all the data. And what we're going to do is come a package called auto publish, and we're going to remove that auto publish feature. So auto publish, similar to how insecure was the default, auto publish is the default. And what that means, it's going to publish all the data. It's going to send everything back that's associated to that particular collection. In this case, it's the task collection. We're going to remove that, and then we're going to have to publish what data we want. We have to indicate what data we want published to the client. And so that'll change a little bit. So that's what this one gets into. So we'll start off by removing the auto publish. And once we see this, remove auto publish, we should see, I believe, all these tasks go away. We won't see any of the tasks. Remove. Ooh, yikes, hang on, wait. Move auto publish. And work on my typing in spare time. So it's removing. So what we'll do, when the app refreshes, the task list will be empty, as I said. So what we want to do is we want to use two methods called Meteor publish and Meteor subscribe. So let's add this one to the is server section. And one of the things too, I'll just comment on now as we go look at this and all the tasks are done, is this is getting kind of okay, so we're getting kind of, do I need this? Oh, we'll skip that. I'll leave that in there for now. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. So this is a simple to-dos.js is getting kind of cluttered and big, and it's got lots of different stuff in it. I will say I've done a little bit of the Discover Meteor book, and it goes into a lot better detail of how to structure your Meteor applications and where to put what files. And so as we move into some of that in future videos, we'll figure out how to better structure these Meteor applications. But now, I mean, if you're like me, is like, oh my God, this is a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of stuff going on in this one file. I'd like to have a file be specific to, one thing and not have it be doing so much. So anyway, so we'll do it. So at the top of the client code, we'll put that here. So boom. So we should see. So as we're here, we are in the server. We're saying publish tasks. So we're publishing tasks, and again, it's publishing all the tasks, and we're subscribing to all the tasks. So and there they are back again. So essentially, we've replicated what was done with auto publish, but those two lines of code, or a little bit, those two sections of code. But what it allows us to do is again to be able to publish things that aren't, control what's published to the client, and only send data that the client needs at that given time. So the example we're going to use here is implementing a private task. So as you know that, hey, I have James user and I have Bob user. They can indicate tasks that are private, and tasks that Bob indicates that are private, James should not be able to see those tasks. And so we're going to implement that behavior. So we're going to add in this block of code right below the checkbox and task template, right below it. So task template, right below the checkbox. So this is the checkbox here. Boom. All right. So modify the li tag to add a private class of the item. Right. Oh, so I'm going to change this. Why would I do those separately? Right below the code for the checkbox in the task template. And then modify the li tag. All right, well. There we go. All right, let's see what that is. Doesn't do much yet at all. All right, well, let's finish this up. So define a helper to check to see if the current user is a task owner. So we'll add this. Oops. So we have to basically fill in is owner. So that's the problem, right? So why this isn't even coming back or changing is that it's looking for this helper is owner and it's not there. So I need to add that to the helper. So I'm going to add another helper to the bottom here, and it's is owner. So now when it checks is owner, it'll check to see that, hey, is the owner of the task the person who's logged in. I suppose I could use the current user too on that one, but and we still have everything. So we're not filtering yet, I guess. So then add an event to handle the toggling that checkbox we added. So it's setting private. And then I add a private method to the Meteor methods. So Meteor methods. Boom. So I'm going to update it to set private. All right, now, so it's still showing everything, right? So I have all these great buttons and everything. Button toggle private. If is owner, toggle private. Public. I don't see that. I wonder why I don't see that. All right. Oh, there's no data yet because it doesn't know private yet. Okay, that could be what it is. I'm not sure. So let's add in. Let's change our publish statement to say code. So instead of returning all tasks, we're going to return all tasks. Or it's either the owner, this ID, or the private. So find, and it's ORing these two, so it's saying either private, let me see. Modify only publish tasks that are public or belong to the user. So private, oh, so either private is not equal to true or it's this user. Okay, that was, sorry. Problems reading. All right, so still not done anything yet. So to test the functionality works, you can use the browser private browsing mode to log in as a different user. Put the two windows side by side and mark a task to private to confirm that the other user cannot see it. So let's see the private thing. Why am I not seeing that? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out real quick. All right. Let's log in as Bob. Let's see, let me do this one again. All right, and then let's log in as Bob. Yeah, it's not working right. All right, well, let's figure this out. So I did something wrong somewhere. All right. Add right below the code for the checkbox in the task template. Task template, right below the checkbox. Okay, we had everything working up to here. Then we added this in. Then added the class if checked. Checked. Private, private. So it's going to add those particular styles to this. It's one of those two. So I think that's right. And then that, hang on one second. Okay, sorry, another phone call, and now I was able to figure out what I did wrong. Let's go back to this, and I added this in. Or is it that helper, the is owner? This was done incorrectly. So what that is that's a task. Define a helper to check the task, not the body. So this is actually different in that it's not on the template body, it's on the task itself, as opposed to the body. Okay? Right, so I put that there, and then my is owner is going to work. That's why this wasn't working here. The button was showing up because is owner still wasn't there because I did it incorrectly. But now, hopefully we refresh here. Hang on. There we go. So I have public, ones that are public. Let's do Bob. All right, so let's go back. Let's actually log out as James. So now, James, password. As a public, and I can make that private. Okay, so I made that private. So when I log in as Bob, sign out. Sign in is Bob. Password. Boom. That one wasn't there. Let's make the Bob's private. And actually, it's create it says it's create a local hosted. Log in as James.
I died.
And so then I have the public, and I can make this one private, and then it goes away. So we have magical, magical, magical. But this one, it shows up. Bam, bam. Whoa. Magic. All right, so we have that. So we made it through here. In order to finish up our private task feature, we need to add checks to our delete and set tasks to make sure that only task user can do that. So we are going to add this in. So inside the delete task method, we're going to find one task, and we're going to check to see. So this is delete task. So only allow people to delete if they're the owner. So that makes perfect sense. So inside delete, instead of just removing, so what we're going to do, we're going to put this ahead of it, I think, right? Boom. So we're going to find a task. For the task ID, we'll get it back. We'll check it if it's private, and the owner is me or whoever is the person logged in, then we're going to throw, and not that person logged in, then we're going to throw an exception. Otherwise, we'll let people edit it. So if it's a public task, people can delete public tasks. And then we'll do the same thing with the checked. And if it doesn't pass this particular test of being public or being the owner of that task if it's private, then we will not allow that to happen. So to do this on Bob. Bob is private. Set a new task in for Bob and call it hello world. And it's public. Let's add another task in and say, I don't know, please delete me. Make it private, so Bob can delete that. Let's log in as James now. Sign out. Sign in as James. Password. Bam, and I see that one, and I can't, this is public, so I should be able to still do stuff with public, and I should still be able to do stuff with mine, right? But I shouldn't be able to, I don't see Bob's, but in the case if I wanted to directly access the API and call to delete Bob, then I could Bob's hello world. If it was private, then I could delete it, but let's make that public, okay? All right, so that wraps up the the Meteor, basic introductory tutorial. They have next steps here, which you can download or create 2 other sample applications that allow you to get into more features of Meteor. One's a more robust, complete to-do application, so it takes on what we built and makes it better. We're recommend taking a look at that. We may do a video walking through that one. And then this local market is a cross-platform customer engagement app that shows off native hardware functionality and social features. So again, we may do a walkthrough of one of those, just walking through the code and the features and stuff in a future episode. We will also probably go through the more advanced tutorial developer guide, Discover Meteor, which definitely gets into another level of depth and robustness of the Meteor projects and applications that can be developed. But I definitely think you should check this out. Look forward to next time. If you like the videos, please click like. Thank you.